let you know that all necessary is there and you should know how to Good morning, everyone. People online, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you people doing? Online people, how are you people doing?
Great,
Fine.
sir.
Good.
Yeah,
All
great.
right. All right. What about the classroom people? All well? All right. We will begin our session number 2 today with the opening of guidelines. I would request all the online people who are logging in, please make sure the moment you have moved into the other area, are requested to keep your microphones on mute. Rajshekhar, please mute your microphones. Do not come on the webcam until I tell you. Third thing is, I would request all of you to please maintain a minimum internet speed of 4 Mbps. Jeevan, please mute your microphone. Jeevan Kandel, please mute your microphone. Jeevan, yeah, thanks. And in addition to all of these, I would request all of you to please maintain a proper internet speed, as well as check your audio connectivity, because since we are in the speaking module, we would require to, practice, participate in the session. Hence, please check your audio connectivity. No one should be using a speaker, because when you use a speaker and when you unmute, I would be able to hear my own voice coming back to me. So it's better, don't use a speaker, use a headphone. All right. And yes, if somebody misses a session for some reason or other, you will get only 3 recordings, not more than that. Hence, you are requested to be regular to the session. Okay. And as we go to the next slide, we would also see the contact details of our support team members who will be helpful to help you if you have any webinar issues. And if you have any other questions, you can always write to them or call them, and they'll be more than happy to help you. The third slide is for you to book your exam dates with IDP or British Council, whom we are partnering with, and they are our business partners. So we give this additional feature to all our people who are joining via Access to book your dates rather than you going around and booking your dates. So we would do that for you. What you got to do is you have to just write an email to ielts.support@y-access.com. For those people who haven't made a note of these contact number or email ID, please take the screenshot or write down the email address and note down that you will send your name and your contact number using your registered email ID only. The contact number which you will be able to answer at all times, give only those numbers so that the team will contact you and tell you what are the dates available, and accordingly you can book your dates. Am I clear, everyone online?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. And the last slide is for the practice content which we have put them on the learning management system tool. If for some reason it is not working, or instead of academic general is added or general versus academic is added, please write to them lmssupport@y-access.com and please mention your problem, what you're facing, and that would be fixed for you within 24 working hours. So let's begin our session today. And while we are beginning our session today, I see some new names come up. So can I talk to the new people who have joined in today and who were not with us yesterday? Jeevan, please unmute. Deepak. Hi, Deepak.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. My name is Anthony, and I want to know about what made you not to join the class yesterday, or did you join the class yesterday? Or were there any kinds of discrepancies that you could not join yesterday?
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Deepak, logging in for the first time. Now, why I couldn't join is yesterday I was still in discussion with the Y-Access team on what batch should I be allocated to.
Okay.
And after, so I wanted to get into the batch where it was earliest possible. And given the option that I have that I can get 3 recordings later on for the class that I missed, so I opted for this session, which had already started in the morning.
Okay, great. Welcome aboard, and I want you to introduce yourself and also tell us about where you're from and which country you're planning, and what is that you're looking forward in your next 5 years approximately to achieve in your
Okay.
life.
Okay, I've logged in from Chennai, and I have opted for Canada PR, but I belong to Chandigarh, but have been in Chennai for a significant part of my career, which is about 12 years now. I work for an IT firm. Um, uh, the question was what for next 5 years?
Yes. What do you want to see yourself doing?
I want to settle in Canada with my family. So the short term is that okay, if 2019 is going to be something where this movement is possible, that is one. Second is before that, I'm hoping that I get a good band in the IELTS examination. So when I
Right.
go to Canada, there are a lot of other things in plan, but I'm not sure right now. But yes, it is to settle happily with family.
All right, all the best, and I am sure that you are definitely going to meet your destination soon, not only with clearing your examination, but your long-term goal in order to settle down in Canada with great opportunities which is waiting for you.
Thank you,
All
Anand.
right, thanks, and you can mute your microphone. And then we have Srikant. Srikant, please come on the webcam. Srikant Gadigam, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Good morning. I'm Srikanth. I was joined from abroad, United States. I was a IT firm employee working for the TCS. Presently, I was been staying in US and looking forward to a Canada PR in the next couple of years to make sure myself to be planned to settle over here.
And you joined in today, right?
Yeah,
What is
just
the
I
reason?
miss. Actually, I was planned yesterday to join. Unfortunately, due to the time changes, I could not able to make it. That happen. So today is the best time to get me on track.
Yeah. Every moment, every new time that is ahead of us is always
Yeah,
great to start something. Welcome aboard and all the best for your future. Please
thanks.
mute your microphone and go off the webcam. Anyone else who have joined us today for the first time?
Hi guys,
All
it's
right, fine. So, yes, Sandeep, yeah, I'm sorry.
Good morning, sir. Actually,
Please keep
yesterday.
your microphone near your mouth.
Hello.
Microphone near your mouth. Yeah,
Yeah, am I audible now?
yeah, you are.
Okay. Good morning, sir, and good morning to everyone over here. Yesterday, due to some power outage, I could not connect the network to my laptop, so I could not get into the session, and I missed it. Coming to my introduction, I am Sandeep Kumar, belong to Odisha, currently living in Hyderabad and working in MNC as a senior finance associate, and I have applied for Canadian PR visa.
Okay, fine. That sounds interesting, and also all the best and welcome aboard. You're going for education or you're going for a PR?
Going for PR, job purpose.
All right, fine. Welcome aboard. What is your name?
Thank
Sandeep.
Sandeep.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Sandeep. You can mute and go off the webcam. So I
thank you,
would
sir.
like to call upon someone who were being with us yesterday. Sahana was there yesterday. Okay, fine. Praveen, yeah. Sahana, I want you to give us an introduction of what we did yesterday and what did you understand about thing. I want you to do a quick recap on that.
So you were explaining
Loud,
about the
loud, loud,
basic
please.
introduction.
Loud, please.
You were explaining about the basic introduction about y-axis and the IELTS and LMS support, and we were giving some basic introduction about ourselves.
Okay. So, what kind of feedback did I share with you, with all of you, when some of them were making some grammatical mistakes? What were the parts of speech that I was referring to?
You were referred to not to use ing often,
Okay.
and you asked us to not to use yeah, often, and use yes, sir. Be professional,
Yeah.
and not use and. Sorry, and often.
That's nice. You move to the staff list. Okay.
That's what. That's what I
Okay,
remember
fine.
so far.
Well, thanks a lot. Let me see. I'll call someone else who can answer me. Jeevan, can you please unmute your microphone?
Hello.
Yes, Jeevan, you have logged in twice. What's the trouble that you're going through?
Actually, good morning, everyone. So, what I have actually forgotten my headphones of laptop in my office today. So that's why I have logged in through mobile.
Okay, fine, no problem. So I want you to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. This is Jeevan here. So I am planning for Canada. I am working as a SAS programmer in Bangalore. So I have overall experience of 5.5 years, and I am from Nepal. So planning for Canada PR.
Okay, nice to know that you are planning for Canada, and all of you, most of them, in fact, I think one or two of them, but everyone is going to Canada. So all of you will meet there for sure. Anyways, I have one feedback for you, which I will not give because I've already given this feedback to people yesterday. So I would request Amardeep to give feedback to Jeevan. What did he notice when he answered? Amardeep, can you please unmute? Amardeep, please unmute your microphone. Okay, let's go to someone else because Amardeep, I want you to log off and log in so that at least you log in and log out and their audio may work. Okay, Akila, can you give the feedback after listening to Jeevan's introduction? Nobody, yeah. Akila, please come on the webcam.
So, hi, my webcam is not working, so I can speak right now.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead.
So, we are not going to use any this. That's what you said yesterday. And
Yeah.
and when we are speaking, we should use any kind of hype in the speech, like lower in the speech. Emotions should be expressed.
Wonderful. Thank you, Akila. Well, Jeevan, you introduced yourself. This is Jeevan. Stop using that from this second onwards. We will not introduce ourselves as this is or address ourselves as this is. You can always use the traditional method. Good morning. My name is this, or I am so and so. So that would be a better introduction to begin with. And let's begin our session then. So when I'm going to say, what is it that we are going to talk? Srikant.
Whether it is on or off, see, check side.
Really?
Side.
Okay, so what's in store for us? We will see that today and see how better we can make our sessions going ahead. So what we see here today is about what we are going to cover. Let's do a quick review of what we've done and a quick review of the course as well, what speaking contains. Apart from this, we will also look at some of those questions and the scoring parameters that is essential for us to know. Okay, for us to know so that we can take a closer look while we are speaking or writing or reading or even listening as such, because that's going to help us identify the areas where we are weaker at so that we can work towards it and strengthen ourselves. Of course, homework is something which is more dangerous to know about. So from today onwards, I'm going to give a lot of activities that you people are going to do at home after the session. Yes, and the most important part that you all will be looking at is about this lady from Y-axis has something to say for you. So when we are looking at it, we are just doing a quick recap. Yes, we are going to look at some of those modules and understand them. So in the listening module, we will be reading the questions, listening to the audio, and writing at the same time, and building our 3 skills more stronger towards the last week of our program. For all the paper-based exam people, you will get an additional 10 minutes time to write down your answers on the answer sheet. However, for the people who are appearing online, you will not get that additional 10 minutes. The next thing, and online test is only available with IDP and not with British Council at the moment. The second module that you will experience in the examination will be the reading module, which is for 60 minutes. You will be given about 3 sections or 3 passages and 40 questions to answer. And you will come across questions between 6 to 8 different types of questions. So we will work on each of the question types while we approach the reading module and explain and understand and use them in our daily practices. Writing. Writing is the third and the last module when you book your dates. So that, you know, in the writing we have 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2, which will combinedly to be completed in 60 minutes. We will try to learn them in detail. We will try to learn them in detail with understanding and practices. Then we will see where we are going wrong and get them fixed accordingly. To begin with, we are going to start with the speaking module, which is a face-to-face interview with the examiner, and it would be a one-on-one interview with someone whom you have never met maybe, and the examiner is definitely going to be an Indian, so don't worry about it. And the duration of the test will be 11 to 14 minutes, which is divided into 3 different parts. And when we are talking about this, let's go a little bit more deeper into the understanding about the first module, which we are going to cover from today onwards, on the speaking module, to know how better we can look at them. Maybe there are a lot of things we need to know. Maybe what we have to do is, how do I understand the speaking module to be? So when I look at this particular image, it gives us the face-to-face number of questions, or the different parts of the questions, or the test itself gives us an idea. It has 3 different parts and the test is recorded. Okay, so the 3 parts among them are very interesting, because the first part is what you look at in detail in the upcoming slides, which you are also be able to access them on our LMS. Okay, and the next thing that we also find ourselves identifying is the part A of the speaking module. So I want you all to make a note or take the screenshot of this slide. It gives you a brief idea about what part A comprises of. It would be approximately around 5 minutes, and around 5 to 7 questions may be asked to you, and this is also known as an interview round. They are going to ask you about you, your family, your surroundings, your likes, your dislikes, what you like, what you don't like, your hobbies, your sports, your so on and so forth. So it's a general interview round, and they're not going to ask you anything about your academics as such, but they may ask you related questions. Which kind of, tell me who is your favorite teacher? Or what is your favorite subject? Maybe they may ask you about them, but not about what did you learn this. I mean, what did you find in this subject? Was this question there in this subject, and so on. So they will not go in depth of your academic, details. So the topics would be generalized as for the interview round is concerned. Am I clear, everyone? People online?
Yes, sir.
The detailing and description are also there on the test, which I will show you after some time. And you can also keep reviewing them time and again, so that you will have a greater idea of how we do this. Now, the first part is examination center. The moment you enter the center for the speaking module, you will be asked to show your original passport and the color Xerox of your passport. After that, what did you do, Srikant? Okay, so what happens is we will have a great understanding there. It will take a longer time. So there will be hundreds of people who will be attending tests. So you have to reach the center early so that your credentials are checked. I mean, your passport, your identification letter, and so on will be checked. And once you are given a time, so you will get an SMS message, because if it is a speaking module, sometimes the speaking will be on another day. okay, on a different day, 1 or 2 days prior to the date when we book the examination or later. So in such instances, you will be given some time through an SMS and an email sent to you by the examining body through whom you are booked your dates. And yes, the moment you enter the cabin of the examiner, they may ask you some of those questions to introduce yourself, which is not going to be recorded, but just to know whether I'm going to interview the right candidate or not. Okay, so please be more cordial, and the way you speak, be more professional in the way you answer questions, and may your body language also play a vital role while you do though. Yeah, and please also make sure that you wear a formal attire while you go, because that automatically gives you a feel of going for a purpose which is serious enough for your careers. Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes, yes. Anyone have any questions before we continue? All right. So when we are looking at question number 1 of part A, or question number 5 or 7, please make sure your answers are extended. Let it not be in one line, one word answers. Let it be more than 2 sentences all the time. There are a few questions where you are confined for sure. That's absolutely okay. Can you tell me something about your what is your full name?
My name is Atman.
So that's where you don't have to extend. You understand? So there are short questions too, sometimes about your name. Okay. So we have to understand that all the questions, or most of the questions in the interview round, have to be answered not less than 2 sentences, which means the people who are silent, who don't like to speak too much, have to now start becoming talkative. Try to eat the brains of your people around. At least you'll get used to speak, without stopping. Okay. So what will happen if I speak too much? Will they think that I'm trying to show off? We are not bothered about what others are doing. We are not at all bothered what others feel about it. We are not at all bothered whether they are going to like the way I'm going to answer or not. But what they are going to look at is some of those criteria which would allow them to evaluate you, give you the relevant score which you deserve to earn. All right. So in such situations, try to speak in elaborations, explanative form. Do not repeat the information. Do not repeat words time and again. Like I've given some of those words yesterday, not to repeat. Like and is too frequently seen in most of us when we answer them. You know is another word or words which is obviously noticed in most of us when we speak. So try to have a control over such words, and try to record your voice when you're trying to answer some of those questions which are available on the LMS. All right. We have a huge amount of collection which will allow you to take a look at it more closely, how we answer them. All right. Now, moving on to the second part of the question on the speaking module is the topic round, or we also call them as cue card round. So the cue card round is a topic given to you in a hard copy. You will be given a question on the top, and then you will be given some sub-questions which you need to incorporate in your answer while you're given some time to speak. Okay, here you will be given 1 minute time to prepare. You'll be given a paper and a pencil. In that 1 minute, by looking at the questions, try to jot down your points. As far as possible, try to use the chronological order of writing your points. Don't write a paragraph or a narration that you're about to speak. So you don't have much time. In that 1 minute, try to collect some ideas and thoughts related to the topic that's been asked and start preparing for that answer. The moment 1 minute or even 45 seconds is over, the
Excuse me,
examiner
sir.
is going to say, okay, let's begin. Yes, anyone have any questions in between?
Yes, I just wanted to ask something. So the
Yes,
thing you told that I have to write in a pad about I have to write in a chronological manner, right? So those
yes.
thing will be with me only. I haven't to. Shall I have to
While
share
speaking,
with the examiner?
see,
Okay, so I
while
have to.
speaking, you will have the questionnaire and the points that you've made will be with you. After you speak, you will have to hand over both the cue card question paper and your points that you've made.
Okay, so but that thing doesn't have nothing to do with the examiner, right?
No, that will not be given to you for various reasons. Though they want to look at it and think, see, what will happen is the examiner will see, okay, I've made 5 points and I've spoken only about 3 points. So maybe he is trying to gauge what your mind is always running about. So am I trying to deviate away from the topic which I planned for versus what I am speaking? Do I have a synchronization between the topic that was given versus the points prepared and the points spoken by me? Am I clear,
Okay, sir.
everyone?
Okay, sir. And suppose if I have write nothing in the cue card, but I've
Nothing will
spoken for
happen,
1 to 2, nothing will happen. Okay, sir.
provided you are able to meet the requirement of the topic, provided you are able to address all the sub questions given in the question.
Okay.
And the time duration for you to speak will be minimum of 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, which means a 2 minutes round has to be spoken in detail. All right,
Okay, sir.
everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Nelson, you can mute your microphone. Yes, Elston.
Nothing's happening. Yes, it's okay.
All right, thank you very much. For further details, strategies, and tips, you can also refer to the LMS, as we will still do a practical practice in our classes, in our sessions. You can also refer the LMS for more detailing as far as each part in the speaking is concerned. Okay, now moving ahead to the last round in the speaking is called the discussion round. So the questions you may come across between 4 to 5 and maximum around 7 questions. And all these questions may connect with the topic round. For instance, you will be given a question in the cue card talking about a restaurant that you recently visited. Okay? Please, I want everyone to follow. If the question is asked and the question goes this way, describe a restaurant that you recently visited. And then in the sub questions, they may tell you when and where is this, when did you go to this restaurant and where is this restaurant located? Who are the people who were along with you when you visited this restaurant? Speak about and describe the restaurant that you visited and your experience. And also you can say, explain about what you like about this restaurant and will you recommend this to someone? So when such questions come up, all these questions will be in the printout of your topic. And similarly, in part C, the same kind of questions may be asked, connected to food, connected to restaurant, connected to your spending time in a restaurant, which may be great for you at the moment. Maybe they can ask you, do you think home cooked food or restaurant cooked food is good for you? Which is more popular today? Do you think fast food centers are popular or the restaurant or the home cooked food popular in today's time? Do you think that your children should not be encouraged to be eating outside rather than encourage them to eat what is cooked at home? See, everything that may connect to the topic round may be asked to you, which you have to be spontaneously answering here in the part C question again. So what we got to do here is we have to again answer them not less than 2 sentences, but also should have a tone of discussion. For example, if such questions are asked, they might ask us a question saying that which restaurant do you prefer in your hometown when you want to celebrate a event or a particular occasion. So I would say there are plenty of restaurants available in my surroundings. There are different occasions that I celebrate, and for my child's birthday, I prefer going to KFC, which is quite nearby to my place, because my child always prefer that she would invite friends to this place, because KFC gives us this opportunity. They also have a play area where these kids can play. So likewise, I can start talking in this manner in a conversational or a discussion manner. Am I clear, everyone? People online, are we clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right. Then, for more questions and details, we can always refer to the LMS. The reason we am reiterating time and again about referring LMS is because we have plenty of questions which are put up on the LMS for you to practice, get used to them, as well as try getting, an understanding about what kind of questions can be asked and what kind of questions I may not be aware of. Now, definitely, some of us will come back and say, Anthony, in a word, I don't know what this question is because I've never come across this question before. So for such instances, I want you all to start getting used to what's happening around in your society. How do I know that? Maybe we can look at something like reading newspapers, magazines, some kind of articles, watching some news articles, some activities that's happening on television, maybe about some kind of an live shows. Maybe we are looking at channels like let's say Animal Planet. Let's assume that it's a Discovery. Let's look at some of those informative channels that may give us some information or other. Even news is necessary because sometimes we may know about the crime, we may know about some things that coming up for the development of the society, or education related, or something related to the upcoming festivals and events, and how does it affect your points that you can take from these events or activities that's happening around for you to be incorporating them in your response. Okay, so now moving on to the band descriptors, what we have to, yes.
Sorry. So I have a few queries. So we are given topics, and we'll have a different take on each topic compared to the examiner. So will our perspective also be judged? Maybe we have a complete opposite perspective from the examiner. So
Wonderful. So see, Neha was asking us about two things. About one is about, see, when a question is asked, I have my own perspectives of an answer. Maybe I might say that the weather outside is pleasant, but it is not pleasant for someone else, for example. Yes, we consider your perspective definitely, because there is no right answer, there is no wrong answer. There is only one answer, which is your answer. So you have to be confident about what you're answering. So the right answer is yours, what you say at that moment, because you felt so. Right? Anything else? All right. Fine. Any more questions before we move on with the brand descriptors, how you are going to be evaluated? What is going to be evaluated in your examination? People online, any questions? Yes.
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so trying to understand when we speak, so I see examiners are noting down, I think the wavelength or various parameters what we have, right? So are they the actual ones who are evaluating us, or they just make a note and give it to somebody else? I mean, or somebody else is listening to our recording and then giving us a score.
You will find two people doing this for you. The person who's taking your interview is going to evaluate you on some of those areas. Maybe they have their own parameters that, along with the band descriptors, they may look at it. And the person who's going to listen to your recording is also going to pay attention to something that has been mentioned in terms of pronunciation, in terms of way we are expressing our ideas and thoughts. Maybe, at the moment when you are speaking or someone else is speaking live, I may miss out something. I may miss out mispronunciation. So we have to doubly get sure before I start giving you scores, because this examination is something that's going to give you an open the gate for you to travel to a different country. Hence, two people will intervene in this. Okay, Vishal?
I got it. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Anyone else? Srikanth, please mute your microphone. Yeah, go ahead, Srikanth.
Sir, I have one question. In part 3 of the speaking test, when interviewer was asking a set of questions, if I miss any one of the question listening improperly, can I request to have the repeat the same question?
Yes, we are going to come up with those points. Yes. What we got to do is I'm going to come up with the upcoming slides. You will be able to see how better we can make our such instances when we don't understand a question asked by the examiner. Sometimes we may not be able to hear clearly what the examiner was saying or did not understand the way they were asking questions. So we will address that in a while from now. No problem.
Hi, I have a question here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So my question is, let's say if I get a topic and I'm not comfortable with that topic. So let's say they have given me something talk about a art gallery, which I'm not comfortable about. So is there a possibility where can I ask for an alternate topic, or is that not the possibility?
No, that's not possible. The question which is given is given. They will not change the question for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Hi, excuse me.
Yes, Arjun.
Sir, I want to know how will you manage your voice frequency? I mean, whether we should speak in high pitch or low pitch. How can we know that? So how will we?
Raki, please come here. See, I have a colleague of mine. I'm going to show you the distance, how much distance you both will have together. So this is my colleague Raki. Hi.
Good morning. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Online and
Morning.
all of you.
Okay, the distance that we both will have is something around this way, where we'll have a table in between. You will find a microphone in between us. So you need to be loud enough so that the microphone can capture your pronunciation, your answering, your way you are aspirating your words and your pronunciation part of it. So try to be not too loud, like where you sound shouting. Try to maintain a proper wavelength in terms of the volume is concerned. Okay, Arjun?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine. Yeah. Thank you, Raki. Yes. Any more questions?
Sir, I have a question.
Rakshekhar, you need to be loud or keep the microphone a little closer to your mouth.
I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Basically, expressions are mandatory and hand movements are mandatory while speaking to the interviewer.
Now, the problem is with your question is the word actually and mandatory. So avoid using actually to begin with as a feedback. Mandatory is what when we feel it is to be needed. Okay. When you give your facial expression, and if I come in front of you and I just look, okay, everyone please look at my Bandit Scripters. Will you be interested to listen to me?
No.
Rajshekhar?
No,
will you
no,
be interested
sir.
to listen to me?
No.
You will not be interested to listen to me. But because I am not interested, I will say, okay, this guy is not good. Hence, when we are talking to someone, why aren't we using the expressions? For example, I would ask you, if I ask somebody saying that, do you like reading books? Let's say that person loves reading books. And that person automatically shows the expression of the face and pronunciation and the voice modulation, which automatically comes out. But in such examination, we try to control our emotions and stop saying like those robots. The robots when you look at when it answers, the way it's feeding. Yes, I like reading books. I like reading all kinds of books. Don't sound and look that way. Be as natural as you are, but try to show your expressions. If you're sad for some reason and you're talking about a happy moment, you have to mix and match with your expressions, your way of speaking, and the words that you use. For instance, we can say, I visited a wedding yesterday. It was beautiful. It sounds that way. So expression plays an important role. Or you can say, okay, fine. I went for a wedding yesterday. It was, the decoration was good. That was nice. This was nice. What did you do? You made some changes, putting an extra effort, and that effort is seen by the examiner. But you be yourself saying that yesterday I happened to witness a wedding. It was an amazing wedding. So I'm using my words, I'm using my intonation, I'm also showing my eyes and my facial expressions and so on, so that it tells how much you're enjoying doing answering or answering that question, which actually compliments you 100%. Is that clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Rajshekhar. Any more questions?
Hi, sir.
Yes, Srikant.
Hi, sir. Excuse me, sir. I have one more basic question. Like when you are beginning of the session, it says like the examiner would be the Indian. Like in case of me, like the examiner would be the American. So the accent would be the different from the examiner and as well as the to me.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
the
the people
variation
who are
would be
living in the people who live in US or the people who live in other countries, you will find there people from that place will be your examiners. I understand
yes.
you will find difficulty in their accent, but that doesn't mean that you will not be able to comprehend since you're already living there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be extra careful in listening to them carefully and responding to their answers accordingly.
Okay. Thank you.
Most welcome. Any more questions?
One question, and this is Deepak.
Yeah, Deepak.
My question is more on the consistency of the examiner. This comes from my experience in terms of what friends have shared, that that it may be a case that if you get a good examiner for the same kind of a test, your band the band score may be different, which means the predictability of how the examiner is going to give you band, they must be following a process and would have their own competency. But is that going to be, or does it happen in your experience, you possibly can tell, where a person who was rated 5 or 6 gets rated, given a band 7, due to certain things which either are, although the language competency may remain the same, but something that has been done during the test which really goes against you, where it appears that okay, the consistency of the examiner is not there, and it's little unpredictable score that you get at the end of the exam.
Okay. Well, Deepak, for this question, there are a set of points that they have while they evaluate. Now, for example, me and Raki. So when it comes to me, I would go in depth of your pronunciation. For example, I may look at other variances as well. Maybe when I'm looking at some of those expressions, I expect people to do the best because I feel I am the best. So I feel, but I am not sure. So no, I'm being honest here. So what I'm trying to tell you is because I feel that you should have a proper intonation, explanation, pronunciation, which is not being aped, but a neutral accent. Okay, so when I'm looking at those junctures and also meeting the requirements of one of the parameters that I'm going to speak now, maybe I'm answering the question, great, awesome. I answered the question to a greater extent, great, awesome. But I happened to repeat my a couple of words. Maybe I am very tired. For example, I'm using the word very tired. So if I'm going to say I'm very tired, I am using this word very tired when I have a superlative word which says I'm exhausted. So I would pay attention to one of the parameters which is looking at. Maybe the other person did not do it at that moment. So that doesn't mean that there is a variations, but yeah, we have some parameters which will be evaluated. According to the parameters, whatever the examiner is going to ask and understand and evaluate accordingly.
Okay.
So before they come into the examination, they are being trained, and they are being trained to take such instances. And one more thing, Deepak, and others, let me put it this way. So you will find some examiners, they may smile at you at times. Some people intentionally don't smile, intentionally. That is just to create a situation where you must become nervous, or do you have the purpose of controlling your nervousness and giving out your best no matter what the situation is? Okay? Deepak, did I answer your question?
Yes, I have a related question, just a quick one.
Yeah.
Is Now, this is also what Srikanth asked, since he's in US, and is the accent going to be a factor when the examiner is going to listen to him? Similarly, in India, we have a lot of regional accents in terms of there is a strong mother tongue influence. So if since I'm a North Indian, I might have my hard T's and D's when I come and appear for an exam in South, or if a person from Bihar will go and appear in Northeast. So examiner, if they belong to the local area, is that also going to be a factor where your points on mother tongue influence is going to go against you?
No, not exactly, because the examining body is aware in which region they are taking an exam, and the examiners who are going to take will have a neutral accent for sure, because they are trained, and before they have been hired, they go through lot of stages. They have their preliminary tests, then they go through the training, and in between the training, we have about 4 tests that needs to be cleared, which involves pronunciation, which involves grammar, which involves the way it's been projected and how you need to take interviews and so on. Apart from all of these, if some candidate has mother tongue influence, for example, and if that person has, let's say, about 15 to 20% of mother tongue influence projected in their answers or responded in their answers, they may give you lesser marks. I'm talking about the comparative word, lesser marks, as far as one particular category, which we talk as lexical resource, which we are going to see, where pronunciation comes into a vital area. And then that will not affect the overall score to a greater extent. Just if I see out of your entire test of 11 to 14 minutes, you are using too many, mother tongue influenced pronunciation of words, maybe they may give you little lesser than you deserve at that moment, though your word was perfect in the sentence. Okay, and if it is more than about 40% or 50%, then we may expect that candidate may get little lesser marks, because there is no negative marking in IELTS examination. So either you get something or you don't get anything. Yeah?
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome. All right, we will go ahead with the band descriptors. The first band descriptors is trying to be clear and in a structured manner to make our response more clearer. For example, if somebody asks you a question in part A stating that, tell me something about your hometown. So I start introducing that I'm born and brought up in so-and-so place. Then I talk about the place. Then I talk about how the place is. What are the popular places that people keep visiting? Do you have the popularity where people from other states or countries try to visit your place time and again? And likewise, I have a proper structured manner. Maybe I would start saying, okay, I belong to so-and-so place. This place is about, has some history behind it, has some popularity about this place, are these, this. Most of the people who come from other states or cities or countries prefer to come to this place. For example, if I'm talking about Hyderabad, yes, people come for various reasons. Pearls is one of the areas, one of those products which people are crazy about to come to Hyderabad. And then they talk about bangles, then they talk about food, which is Hyderabadi biryani and the delicacies like some of the sweets. Okay, and when we go to Lucknow, again, biryani of different other flavors come in. Then we talk about other places like Mumbai, which is more of a shopping area or a business area where people can get a lot of things. When we talk about Surat in Gujarat, we are talking about some manufacturing units, which is about the garments and the attires you come across. Down the south, there are a lot of other things that come up. So we have to have a proper structure while we're answering, which will affect our scores in terms of fluency and being coherent in answering the questions in a chronological, in a right order, which we feel we wanted to project in our response. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
The second parameter that we look at is lexical resource, where people should have a range of vocabularies that they can use instead of repeating a particular word in their response, whether it is speaking, reading, writing. Reading, of course, you should be aware. Listening also, you should be aware, so that you will find that in the other way around in the text, or the audio. When it comes to the writing as well as speaking, we should be aware of alternative words or the synonyms, ensuring that all our responses have the proper structured without repetition either of the information or the words. Hence, lexical resources play a vital role. So I want everyone, okay, all the online people and the classroom people, to start preparing your own dictionary, your own word bank. So whenever you come across a word which you use too frequently, whenever you observe that you use a particular word too frequently, too often in a particular response, write down that word on the left-hand side of the page. Okay, and beside that, take the dictionary meaning. Write down the dictionary meaning. Beside that, the third column should have two synonyms and two antonyms of this word that you have written down. And try getting used to these along with this while you're speaking, while you're writing, as we started off getting used to new or alternative words of such words which are time and again used. You can also use this dictionary to find out the meaning of the new words that you come across or the words for which you are not aware of the meaning. This would add value to strengthen your lexical resource and can use them to a greater extent to get best scores. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the third important Bandit descriptor is pronunciation, which are focused upon. Along with this, we also look at something called being coherent. Being coherent, trying to bring a variance in my voice modulation, trying to bring in the creative features in the way I express a response. My pronunciation adds value the way I'm going to take my expressions, the stress levels on the words, how better I can vary the tone. I happen to travel in the morning to come to work, and the traffic outside was, whether good or bad, you need to say that in a particular expression. Then, the moment I reached work, I was late by a minute, which panicked me because I always prefer to be on time, and that's the reason that, and then you go ahead. Yes? Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, the last point that we are going to look at here, just give me a second. Just give me a second, people, please. Okay, the people are requested to please mute your microphones. All are requested to please mute your microphones. Okay. Now, the other area that we all have to pay attention is grammar. So when I talk about grammar, how we phrase sentences, number one. Second thing is, how am I going to use the sentences, whether it is a complete sentence or how do I normally use versus how I use. For example, in some cases, the usage of articles, which has to be clear enough. For example, we know the difference between consonant letters and the vowel letters. Accordingly, use an article whether it is in a singular form or in the plural form. If it is a vowel letter word, then we would use an. And if it is a consonant letter, we would use a in a singular category. Likewise, when we are referring between, singular plural words, some of them are like child and children. Yes, person versus people. Sometimes we use words, there are many persons available outside. No. It's people. Okay, so try and correct those areas if you have them within you. And the website I will share with you today for enhancing our language skills and also get a wide range of practices in order to check our quiz. I mean, in the quiz, you will be able to check where you stand as far as the grammar is concerned. Okay. In addition to all of these, something very dangerous at times is tenses, grammar tenses or verb tenses, which we call them as. Okay, so sometimes we would be asked a question related to the present tense, and we start with something in the future tense, which is allowing us to speak will, shall, will be too often noticed while we are answering such instances. So listen to the question carefully and frame your answer in such a manner. Since you're asked about the present tense, try to speak more on the present tense, and maybe towards the end you can say, I may correct myself in the coming days. I will correct myself in the coming days. In the past, I did this, but I am doing it this moment. There is a lot of changes that I have brought into my communication when I was a child, when I was a student, compared to what I am today is this and what I am. So try to understand your tenses very well. All right? Am I clear, everyone? Good morning, Y-axis coaching. So I'm going to become a radio jockey at times. If I'm not going to get response, I'm going to announce that like the radio jockeys do. Good morning, and then I'm going to do that with you if you guys are not going to respond. All right?
All
Okay.
right, sir.
So please respond. I don't want a boring session at all because I don't love being that way. All right. So so moving ahead. Yes. Anyone have any questions? Fine. So we will try to understand something.
I'm having one. Hello.
Yeah. You are having a question. You have a question.
I'm having a one question, sir.
No. You should have a question, not having. If you say having, which means you are eating.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
A few seconds back, we discussed about the lexical resources.
Loud. I want you to be loud. Keep your microphone near your mouth.
Yeah, 1 second. Few seconds back, we discussed about lexical resources.
Loud, please. You got to be a little louder.
So we discussed about lexical resource point.
Yes.
It's about vocabulary.
Correct.
Here I'm having one question. How should
go ahead.
improve? Yeah, how should we improve the vocabulary? And I'm very poor at sentence formation by using some vocabulary words.
Okay, so not to worry, because that's what I said. Open a bank account, your word bank account. I just explained how to develop your vocabularies. That is the first stage which would improve on your word choices and the words that you may inculcate or start using them in your daily communication. Not in the sessions only, even in your daily lives, try to incorporate them. Try and incorporate each and every word a day or a couple of words a day. This will help you to improve on your vocabularies. Second thing is, when you start using the vocabularies, automatically you'll see that, okay, I think this word is does not suit in this sentence. So which word would be a better one? That's the time that you start thinking, and that's the area where you will be able to frame your sentences according to the situation or according to the time or the purpose of the question or the purpose of the topic that you are about to speak or answer or question someone. Okay, so in order to develop that, yes, first build your word bank, and the website I will give you after some time to improve on your grammar skills. And by improving on the grammar skills, you will be able to identify where you stand at that moment versus how you progress on a daily basis. See, grammar website I'm not giving because on a single day I will sit down and write down everything, read everything, do some exercises, I'm done. No, you have to do it on an everyday basis. Unless you learn, you will not be able to put into practice. If I learn and I don't put them into practice, then my observation, my understanding, my development, my improvement will never come up. Got it, Bindu?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So, constant correction, constant practice will help us improve and enhance our language skills. Okay, so normally we have a saying, practice. What do we give a statement for practice? There is something to make a person perfect. What is the statement we use? Practice makes a man perfect, isn't it? Now,
Yes.
what will happen if I'm practicing the wrong method? Will I not become perfect in the wrong things? Did you all ever think that this statement at times is not correct? Yes or no, everyone? So
Yes,
we
sir.
got to add another word to this statement or the phrase in the beginning saying perfect practice makes one perfect. Now, if I say man perfect, then the women will look at me and say, why not women? Yes? So that's the reason we will change it slightly, this phrase, saying this perfect practice makes a person perfect. A lot of P's here, right? But yes, they are important for all of us to understand, put them into practice once again. What is to be put into practice? Correct. Now, what does that perfect practice means is all that I did mistake in the past and now I realize one after the other, correct them and put the corrected one in your communication, which will make you do a perfect practice. And when you start doing a perfect practice, that's the time you would become a perfect person as far as communication skills are concerned. Too much, no? Too much of knowledge, no?
Uh,
Yes or no? Come on, wake up,
yes,
everyone.
sir.
Good morning, Y-Axis
Yes, sir.
Coaching.
Sir, I have.
Yeah.
Morning.
Yes, please ask questions. Somebody wanted to ask a question.
I am Rajshekar, sir.
Hi, Rajshekar. Tell me.
Sir, while we speak to each and everyone, we will have some gaps while talking to each and everyone, right?
Yes.
Sounding like So
Fillers, yes.
to stop all those, what is the best way we can improve in that?
Okay. The best way to do that is take a newspaper, Times of India or The Hindu. So if we find that my English skills are average or let's say intermediate level, okay, in such cases, take a newspaper, stand in front of the mirror. While you're reading, look at your expressions while switching between the paper and the mirror. And try to see your facial expressions. Okay. And try to read them loud, not to yourself. No matter, people at home sometimes will laugh, oh, this fellow has gone to school now again. It's fine. But try doing that. Or try to ask a question to yourself from the LMS and answer them while looking at yourself on the mirror. Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That would, eliminate the fillers to a greater extent. Now, there are other ways also, which I'm going to show you in a while from now, how to avoid these fillers. Okay, let's go ahead and find out what is the person asking us. Who should manage the timing and how am I scored as far as time management is concerned? Now, see, time management, you need not worry as far as the speaking module is concerned. Your examiner is there to take care of that, 11 to 14 minutes. If he finds or she finds that you are extending your answer and it is too much extended, then they will stop you to answer and take you and ask you another question. Okay, so the response over here, which I want you all to take the screenshot because you see an example, it says, do you enjoy learning English is what you need to question yourself. Now, at this juncture from our sessions, do you enjoy learning English or do you enjoy learning the method of answering the questions in the IELTS examination? You need to answer them. If it is yes, you have to first enjoy learning the language to attend the IELTS examination. Am I clear, everyone? Please do not give your answers in one word, yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir, we are clear.
Now the person has another question, like all of us had questions a while ago. Sometimes they ask us, do I have to work on vocabulary and fluency? Of course, yes, because that's where we are going to make our answers, our responses understandable. Number one, meeting the requirement of the question. Somebody's going to ask you saying that, did you enjoy your last birthday? Yeah, I think I enjoyed, but I normally don't like. That's your answer. I'm not bothered about what you feel at that moment. But my question was very clear. Did you enjoy? No, I did not enjoy my birthday last time, as I normally don't love to spend, celebrate my birthday and so on. Okay, last birthday, this is what I did. Maybe I can start answering in that way, which was forced upon me when my friend said, okay, we have to celebrate your birthday, and that's why we had to celebrate. So make sure your fluency automatically adds value rather than dragging. Last birthday, yeah. So avoid such instances. I understand you don't love celebrating your birthday, maybe. No, I don't love spending money on my birthday celebrations because never from my childhood I, enjoyed celebrating. Though my parents used to celebrate in the initial days, and later on I told them not to celebrate because I'm not interested. So fluency had to come out. Pronunciation of a few words have to be clear, especially the difference between I, the letter I, and E when it is used in the word. For example, we have a word which normally is mispronounced. So the first letter is, second is if, and the last one is it. So when you notice this letter I, the sound is just a dot. Now we have a signals that is normally used by the armed forces to communicate between people or the different places, which we call them as Morse code, okay, which is in the form of a dot or a line. And now this dot is representing I. It, not is. Sometimes, mother tongue influence forces us to use is. This is a good book. Yes, we do that. So try to be more conscious about, if you're using them, try to work on such pronunciations. Am I clear, everyone? Now E, right? Event. So we use this signal where we have little elaboration than the I, right? So we will say event, egg, differs definitely, right? So we have to pay attention to such letters when we are stressing them. So how do I learn them? Who will teach me if somebody has such questions? I will give you a link on YouTube. Please make a note if somebody wants to make an improvement in such areas. Once you go on to the YouTube, you on the search bar type Jennifer's, JENNIFER', English pronunciation. English pronunciation. Okay, so if you go to this particular person's videos, which has different group of videos which he has put up on the YouTube, some of them starting with vowel lettered words, some of them have about consonant lettered words, some of them how to pronounce different words, how to introduce yourself. So there are different group of audios which you can start getting used to them by watching them and practicing along with her the way she uses her mouth expressions. Okay, am I clear, everyone? Am I clear,
Yes, sir.
everyone online?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay.
Now, this person has another question. This person has a lot of questions on the screen. So let's see what he wants to know. Do I sound like a recording machine? Please avoid being monotonous or robotic to be speaking as far as possible. We should not sound robotic. Use voice modulation. Use the intonation effectively. Think about those times when you were speaking to your family members, your friends. You definitely used your voice modulation unknowingly at times. But in the examination, we become too conscious, and we think if I modulate too much, they might laugh at me. They might try to see that I'm trying to show off. No, no, no. Voice modulation will bring out your feeling at the moment while you are answering a particular question related to what been asked. Be to the context of the question. Don't try to deviate away from the question. Try to answer the question, and maybe elaboration is needed while giving a response and trying to elaborate a little bit on something that has been asked. Okay, and the most important part is now how to buy some time. When a question is asked, I don't remember what's to be done. How do I start? How do I open my statement to answer them? So here are some of those examples which you can look at. I've never considered that question before. However, it sounds to be an interesting one. So I brought some time, I purchased some time from the examiner before I started answering. The moment the part 1 and part 3 questions are asked, try to answer them and within 3 seconds from the time they end their question. If you think it's going to take longer than the 3 seconds, try to use such phrases. It sounds to be an interesting question. I've never come across such questions before. Let me find out. Okay, let me think. Try going ahead, right? Try to use your own phrases because you're already started answering, but trying to buy some time rather than say, ooh, and all those songs and tunes I don't want. Yes, everyone? Sometimes in between, I may come across some situations where I have completed all the ideas that I've done. I've answered only 2 points, but I still have time to answer the third point too. Maybe I have to look for, while I'm thinking to give you a better explanation about what I just mentioned, and then I start with the point. In this time, you have to quickly think and bring out your ideas. Am I clear? Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
So this person has something. Never ever by heart or try to copy somebody's answer. Be who you are, answer the way you are able to answer. Don't try to ape somebody, because if you by heart your answer and go, and if you answer them a by hearted answer, they will know that you have by hearted and come, because your rate of speech differs. But the way your expressions does not support your facial expressions, and the way you're using the words in a sentence also does not give you a support to say it was your answer. So do not by heart your answers, mug up answers, but prepare your answers in your own words, in your own thoughts, with your ideas, making it your own unique response. And the most important part is listen to the examiner clearly. And what would happen if I don't understand? Like one of them asked. What happens if I did not understand what the examiner was asking? I can always say, I'm so sorry. Can you please elaborate that question for me? Because I'm asking, because I did not understand the question. It's okay to ask, I'm sorry, can you please explain that question to me? Can you please elaborate that question to me? And here the examiner will not mark you down, will never mark you down for asking such questions. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear, everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir.
But don't ask them to repeat. They will repeat the same words. Don't ask them to repeat. I'm sorry, can you repeat? Normally we see, pardon me? What pardon me? What crime did you do? They have to pardon you. Because pardon me is an incomplete phrase which we normally use. Pardon me? No, I didn't do anything to you. Why do you ask, pardon to me? If people like me are your examiner, I'm going to ask you the same. Okay? So be clear and complete your statement accordingly. I'm so sorry, I could not understand the question. Can you please elaborate it for me? Oh, great. This is what it is. They will definitely oblige. Right? But never say, sorry. We normally say that, right? I didn't understand. Sorry? This is the expression we give along with our tone. What sorry? I understand the tone is questioning. But I still will not acknowledge as an examiner. So use a complete statement. Why is that sorry came into existence? Am I speak confidently and follow your instincts, which automatically some people get into them, right? Yes or no? And of course, the people who don't like to smile start getting habituated in smiling to everyone, even to a stranger. Not outside, definitely for the examination purpose. Because sometimes if you smile at everyone, they'll think either this person is mad or this person is trying to become too personal or trying to expect something out of me. It is vice versa at times, depending upon the scenario. But still, it happens, right? Now, the most important part we all have to remember is this one. Okay, we have to have two major thumb rules within ourselves. One is try to speak in length all the time. Second thing, be conscious about what you're speaking and not to forget what was asked to be addressed at all times. Don't get deviated away from the topic. Do you read newspapers? As a person, I normally don't read newspapers, for instance. I would say, no, I don't read newspapers. After that, I need to elaborate. I don't get time to read newspapers because my shift starts at 7 o'clock in the morning and ends around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. By the time I reach home, it's around 3:30. I don't have enough time to, because I get exhausted. So the moment I go home, I have my food, and then I would like to take a nap or I would like to relax. I don't want to get into such things like reading newspapers, magazines. So I've never got habituated to reading books or newspapers. Make your response understandable. Put them in the right way that you express. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear,
Yes, sir.
everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, you have a reason of why you don't read newspapers. And suppose I don't have a justification, as I don't do it. I don't read newspapers either. Like, I don't like to read them, but I don't have.
So I can answer that question as well. I don't like reading newspaper. I feel that it's a waste of time because I don't think the newspapers have those kind of information or news which can make me attracted towards it. Or I am not interested in politics. I'm not interested in sports. I'm not interested in entertainment. I'm a boring person. So I'm just on the lighter end. Okay. So what we are trying to tell is we are telling them why we are not interested. So a reason should be given. No, if you are not reading, why? So there is always a why, which is a hidden why in part A and part C question types in the speaking module. You have to elaborate. Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What do we do when we make mistakes in between while we are answering? No problem. Correct yourself. What I meant was, oh, I'm so sorry. What I meant was, and then I go ahead. Please take the screenshot of this slide. Because sometimes I use some words. Oh, sorry. We all do all those accents, no? Let's not do all those accents there. Oh, what I meant was, I'm so sorry. I wanted to say that this is what I wanted to explain, and I'm so sorry, or whatever. So apologize, correct them immediately. They will not mark you down on that. Which shows that your presence of mind is active enough to understand what you're speaking and following what you're speaking from the ideas that you started developing in your mind. All right. Now, there is something that we are going to learn or know about, some of the vocabulary tips which I just spoke about. Please prepare a vocabulary bank for yourself. And some of those words like I think, I believe. So try to juggle around different words when we are trying to see or respond to our answers. So like, just using like is not giving me a response that you are trying to give an example or you are trying to refer to something else. It's not, it's not certain at all why am I using this word like only. If I say, I like to explain, likewise, use an appropriate word in between. I think, instead use, while I'm thinking, I feel or I believe. So use such phrases in to make your response more accurate towards the language skills are concerned. All right? Yes, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now, Grammar definitely plays an important role. Grammar definitely plays an important role. Hence, we have to pay attention to grammar all times, whether it is sentences, whether it is tenses, not tensions, tenses. It is, then we talk about the adjectives versus adverbs. When we are talking about adjectives versus adverbs, basic versus basically, physical versus physically, and so on and so forth, like mental versus mentally. For example, I've noticed some people answering questions. Basically, I belong to this place, and what? If a crazy person like me is going to ask you a question, oh, basically you belong to this. So physically, where are you at the moment? And mentally, what are you thinking? You understand? The difference between adverbs and adjectives is what you will learn from the sites which I'm going to give you in a while. All right? So please pay good attention to the grammar skills, enhance them. Okay? Making a good impression. All right. Creating a great impression plays an important role. Now, what will happen if I don't have a proper thing? Some people say, I don't look good. First thing is, chuck it out. Why do you see or think that you don't look good? Go and ask your mom or your dad. They'll definitely say you are the best on the earth, man. Why are we bothered about what people think? Because off late, we started thinking about ourselves and comparing ourselves with others, which is the greatest crime that we are committing for ourselves. You're definitely unique, man. You guys have to feel that, yes, I definitely look good. Yes, to create an impression, don't go wearing a shorts or a jeans, something into the examination. Wear a formal attire, go. You will be respected. Not
No,
that
but
I
that
want to
is a
impress somebody. Yes.
no, Anthony. I mean, is that compulsory? I mean, I'm
It
just
is
hearing the
good.
first.
No, not about compulsory. I'm talking about it gives you that additional respect. Now, for
Okay.
example, some of them who walk into the classroom, sometimes I find the 7 o'clock batch, some of them come with their shorts. So I feel they are
Yeah,
too casual with their things.
I've seen
That
people
doesn't
wearing.
show their attitude. I'm
Yeah, I've
sorry?
been. I said I've seen people wearing jeans and short t-shirts and in fact chappals as well, and then scoring 7+ in in speaking. So I think it really doesn't matter as long as
It doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter. End of the day, when somebody talks to me, and if I say, Neha, you're good for nothing, because she's wearing a shorts and doesn't came shabbily dressed. So definitely she deserves respect, no matter what attire you wear. But it gives a feel to the examiner too. Okay, fine, this person seems to be serious about what he or he is. Okay, what you perform is different automatically. First impression is always giving you an opportunity to create that impression and the respect that you start getting. Okay, so that's the purpose of giving a proper thing. Yeah.
May I answer this question?
Sure.
So,
You come here, please.
And-
You need to be loud enough, not in front of the camera. Don't come in front of, because I know you're wearing a short and you're not greatly dressed today. Come. Okay, come.
so I've been a part of personality development classes in school where we were told that our attire or how we look and how we present ourselves is just 10% of our overall personality, but that 10% adds great value to what we project to a person. So that is why I think we should be properly dressed, not to impress a person, but just to show that you do probably care or how important a particular situation is for us.
Absolutely. In addition to that, thank you, Neva. Please sit down. In addition to that, because there is a psychological background also for this. Okay, there's a psychological background. Let's assume somebody who's wearing a round neck t-shirt and a jean. When you ask them some question, their tone, their expression, their way of behavior automatically becomes casual. Whether you like it or not, even if that person tries to make an effort, he or she might sound casual because the attire that you wear has already, affected your nervous system, due to which it works accordingly. Now, if I'm wearing a formal attire, it works accordingly. Now, try to differentiate with that in your own lives, and you will see that. Okay, collared t-shirt is also known as semi-formal category. It's okay. You can wear a jeans, not a torn jeans. Right. Now, jeans also, wearing a jeans doesn't mean that I will wear a soiled jean, which I was wearing for 2.5 months or a year. So, again, perfumes. A stronger perfume is try to avoid them because some people may not like it in the examination. They try to finish it. Okay, fine. Next. Okay, fine. Right. So try to be as natural as possible. Okay, you can wear a makeup and go, not too much, too flashy kind of things, but moderate. All right. All right. Now, I want everyone to please log into your learning management system too. The people who are able to log in, please log into your learning management system too. Everyone. You're not able to access? Yes, switch on. You have the passwords in front of you. Please log in.
Hey, sir, where can I find the LMS?
Okay. See, yesterday or day before yesterday, we sent the welcome email. So when we sent you the welcome email, you also have a link in the same email which is allowing you to go to the page where you can log into your learning management system tool. So click on that link and use the registered email ID through which you received this, on which you received this email. So when you go to that link, type your email address and the password that would be given in the email. Once you click on that, type that password and click on login, it will take you to the content page. Okay, so when you go to the content page, you can click on the content page and here you will find all the 4 communicative skills available. And once you go there, select the speaking communicative skill. And in the communicative skills, in the speaking module, what I'm sharing at the moment with you, you'll be able to see the similar screen coming up. So as a homework for today, all of you will go ahead and read about IELTS, overview about the course, how the bands are being scored, and the scorecard, how it looks like. Along with this, I also have something which is going to talk about IELTS modules, then speaking module. It's what we were discussing overall now. Now, first thing that you will do is the 10 mistakes to avoid in IELTS speaking. By clicking on that, you will be able to go to this screen, which is going to say, if you are silent in between the answers, which is again the common mistakes which are noticed because I'm running short of ideas, I'm running short of words, I'm running short of sentences, how to frame, then memorizing the answers. There are many such points. Flat intonation, which is we call them as monotonous or robotic. Okay, and then we look at poor pronunciation when we have mother tongue influence, full or high on our way of communicating with them. Sometimes we translate our statements from our mother tongue to the English language. Avoid using an article in between. Sometimes these are some of the areas which we need to keep in mind while we are going to prepare. And in the next page, which I'm going to click on the next button in the bottom, you will see that we will see some of the part 1 tips, and as we scroll down, there are some tips which will help you, and then how to extend answers. Let's click. You have to give reasons. Part 1 questions, that's what I was explaining. Once a question is asked, please make sure you would respond it accordingly. For example, the example question says, what kind of weather do you like? I like warm and sunny weather because I am giving my response. I like sunny weather. I like winters. I like rainy. What do you like to do in rainy season? So that will become another question which you can answer in between. Giving reasons why you like them. Okay. Do you watch sports program on the television or prefer going to a stadium? So you have an open window here where you can compare between them. Do you cook? Yes, I love cooking. I like cooking. The difference between love and like differentiates definitely between superlative and a comparative. I don't like much of cooking, but I have no other choice but I cook. I love cooking because I like to innovate new dishes. Now, some people use the word foods. The singular or plural, it is food only. Okay, no foods. There can be different dishes, right? There can be different cuisines. Likewise, there are many such words which does not require an S to begin with. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
And when you go to the next page, there are some questions on the LMS, which I want you all to look at some of those questions. And you know what you have to do as a homework after reading all of them? You will ask a speaking partner if you have anyone, or you ask the question to yourself and record them on your phone. Use only MP3 format. Record them on your phones. Respond them more than 2 sentences. Then listen to them. If you think that that response is not proper enough, delete them, redo it. And after that, email it to me on the email address that is anthony.rajan@y-axis.com. Please write your email to me and attach these audio files for me to hear, give you feedback accordingly. I also have a support member, Raki, who will also be receiving from me your responses, where she will also detail in giving you the feedback for all that you've been doing in your recording. Maybe a punctuation which you have mentioned, though it is not seen. Did I pause effectively in between a sentence rather than going in a continuation like breathless song is there, right? Like you're going in a da 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 and not stopping anywhere. So rather than being there, be natural as well as possible, and we will learn from them. And there are also part 2 questions which I want you all to go back and check. That's why this screen is making it more clearer for us to understand that we have to get our at least 3 to 5 recordings of part 1. You record them individually and send them to me as a homework before 1 p.m. because I log off by 2 p.m. And even if you send them later on, not to worry, you can, I will still try to come early. I definitely come early. So I will try to listen to them and send you the feedback accordingly. And I will also collect some of those recorded, feedbacks, which are commonly noticed in most of us, will be discussed in our sessions. And from tomorrow, I'm going to take you through the flipped slide of the practices where each one of you will get an opportunity to answer the questions. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right. With this, we have come to the end of the session for today. And I wish this session did give you a lot of information because we all speak to each other. We all have been great communicators, but there were some minuteness maybe somebody wanted to correct. I believe this session would have helped you. Now, I'm going to give you 2 websites which I promised you in the beginning. One is to enhance your English skills. I want you all to go to the website which I'm typing on the chat also. That is www.englishclub.com. Englishclub.com, which is coming up on the chat for everyone who are online. And the classroom people, please make a note of that. Another website which would also help you to enhance your communication or the language skills. You can also do some activities or quizzes on English on www.englishforeveryone.com. Englishforeveryone.com. And there are some, apps which you can download on your telephones, which is from CambridgeEnglish.com or org. You have to find out. It's a Cambridge English app where you can find its meaning. You can see some good statements, phrases, vocabularies that you can take and start using them on a daily basis. Okay? Now, with these three, I want you all to come back tomorrow, and I'm going to ask questions related to grammar only for about 5 to 10 minutes to know where your grammar stands. Are we all clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Clear.
And how many letters does this English word contain? 6 or 7? Count, man.
1 minute.
7, isn't it? How many days of the week do we have?
7.
So every day try to use this time. Every day try to put some time for each letter or the entire word to be enhanced within your communicative skills. And I'm sure that you people will create a great mark in your careers. I'm not looking at the exam because I'm sure that all of you are going to clear.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Why am I so confident? Why am I so confident that everybody is going to...
Because you have confidence in them.
Okay, because I believe that you are here for a serious purpose. And when you're serious with your purpose, I'm sure that you are seriously going to do all that has been instructed in each session. So with this, we conclude the session, and thank you very much. We will meet up again tomorrow. Till then, have fun. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Thank you.
Have a nice day.